with the face who runs the place, T-Roy, the OG on the marquee, Jaybird, and the cat who runs the chat with the stats, Statman Surge. We are Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. We're not a Quad City Sports Talk radio show. We're not the Quad City Sports Talk radio show. We are your Quad City Sports Talk radio show. Welcome to the conversation, Quad Cities. But first, the Dawn. Good afternoon, Quad Cities. Friday, November 12th, 2021. Day after Veterans Day. Everyone's back to work for a while. It's snowing. It's sideways rain. I don't know.
I don't know what to call it.
I hate it.
It doesn't feel good when it hits your face. I know that.
Does not feel good when it hits your face at all.
Wind, I had to walk to the front of the building, too. Like, that's right where the wind was coming in. It was getting me.
And I'm the dummy not wearing a coat. I'm like,
yeah.
And I'm like, wait a minute. Why am I not wearing a coat? So,
I feel like I don't even have a winter jacket. I just have sweatshirts.
Huh?
I don't even have a winter jacket. I just have sweatshirts.
Yeah. I've gone like an entire winter with just wearing just wearing like a zip up hooded sweatshirt or whatever else. I don't know, but I do have a winter coat. But I don't want to talk about that or think about that. Listen to me. I do not care that I did 25 minutes about Rocky yesterday. I'm going a full on. I could go 2 hours. More? I'm not kidding you. This was last night incredible. By the way, lucky you, Adrian.
Mm-hmm.
Streaming on Amazon now.
Okay, all right.
The director's cut.
All of them?
Rocky versus...
Or just that one?
Just stop. Rocky versus Drago.
I hope they have 5.
Listen to me. This is how movies should be made. Okay? Get it under 2 hours. That way you can, when it goes to your TNTs or whatever else, you can do it and have commercials, and it's 2 hours, and you don't have to worry anything. I think they're great. I like the Captain Americas, or I'm not a big Iron Man guy, Spider-Man's, the Avengers. Those are all great. I just don't have 2 hours and 45 minutes of my time to do this. All right. This was incredible. I walked out. I'm like, this is the way it's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. A Q&A for 20 minutes of Sylvester Stallone, live, by the way.
Oh, it was live?
Supposedly.
Oh.
The guy who hosts is a guy who hosts like something on AMC about movies or whatever else. They ask him some questions. So Sylvester Stallone is the writer and director of Rocky IV. They ask him why he picked Rocky IV. He's like, well, it's a project that he's working on during the pandemic. Can't do anything really. And so he starts in with something that he thought was only going to take him like 3 weeks, kind of do a director's cut, go through things. It takes him 9 months. So they ask him, what did you learn from this? And he's like, well, here's some things that I would have done differently. So I'm going to tell you what's great about the Q&A and what I disagree with as well. Mm-hmm. All right? He took out all the scenes with a robot. Perfect. The robot made 0 sense anyway, but he was like, it's 1985. It's all about robots and smoke and music soundtracks and I would say big hair, but not really big hair. So he takes out the robot. Perfect. I love that. He doesn't mention this. The scenes with his son are not in there, the one that we're used to. Mm-hmm. And again, I'm talking about Rocky IV, limited release, Rocky versus Drago, for those who are just tuning in here on ESPN 1170 AM, Facebook Live. The scenes with his son are not really good either in Rocky IV. They don't make much sense. I think there also has something to do with that is his real son in real life. The one that plays in Rocky IV. Not the same one that's in your favorite Rocky V. Mm-hmm. Or the one that plays it in Rocky Balboa. I think he took it out because of that. It's my son. There's only one scene. It's motivational type of thing. What you have to do, what's right when you have adversity and how you stand up for things, blah, blah, blah. When life gets to you, you have to do the right thing. Sometimes you have choices to make that are not the most popular ones, but you got to do them. Good motivational scene. That's about it. I'm glad they took that out as well. Here's a couple things I'm not too fond of. He said if he had to do it over again, Apollo would not have died. Spoiler alert for those who haven't seen it. That came out 36 years ago. He said that because Rocky loses a lot of people. He lost Mickey. Spoiler alert. He lost Apollo, and he loses Adrian. And he's like, he's all, in the end, Rocky's really alone. Well, nah, I think it's fine that he passes away. I don't really want to see Apollo like in a wheelchair or whatever else. And that's what he said. Maybe in a wheelchair, but he would still be the guy that was like a mentor to him. I think he's wrong on that. Here's where it gets completely personal. There's two things that are personal where I really believe at this time Sylvester Stallone's talking to me, and I'm not lying to you. One, I explained to you that I don't like Adrian, right? Not you. The character.
The character.
So much that I will never watch. Like if I watch like The Godfather and she's in it, I'm cringing. All right. He tries to humanize her in this. There's a lot more scenes that she has in this. She has a lot more of a voice into why is Apollo fighting Drago? Why is Rocky fighting Drago? I don't need her to be humanized. It doesn't work for me. He has not won me over. I still don't like her. Okay? Remember what I told you why I don't like her? Because what she says to him?
Oh, yeah, so you can't win.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Guess what's not in the film this time?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Somebody's been listening to the show.
Somebody, this show, I mean, I've been saying this for years.
Somebody's been following you.
Sylvester Stallone, this is where I'm like.
You guys like friends?
What is this?
Did you talk about that at all?
No.
No? Didn't bring that up?
No, because trust me, at this point, remember,
You're freaking out.
Because when I'm watching this movie, I'm like ready to stand up and yell, I hate you.
Do we like her again?
No. I'm not changing. I'm not. No.
Oh, why not?
He might have humanized her. I don't care. Oh. She does say it's suicide. And they cut out something in there, and he's like, maybe it is. They cut out a portion of it because he's like, well, maybe it is. I don't know. But to beat me, he's got to be willing to die, and I don't think he's got that. They cut that out because I'm like, I'm waiting for my son to watch this. Be like, look, he's going in there. Like, he's willing to die. He doesn't think he's got it in him.
Yeah.
But later on, they kind of have like this thing where he's looking in the mirror, and then the voiceover comes over. So they make it up. Anyway, Adrian is not humanized to me. Don't care. She said what she said. Fan. Listen, she said what she said.
Can't take it back now.
You cannot take it back.
Not 35 years later.
Not 36 years later.
36 years later.
She said what she said. You can't cut that out. I cannot forget that. So then he's talking about everything that he's done. This film and why he did Rocky IV. It's the most popular, even though he doesn't think it's the best one. He wrote and directed it, but he's like, it is the most popular. The studio's exec thought it was going to bomb. It like made more than any of the other ones. All right. He also probably didn't know. He forgot to mention that. Then I would have known that he was really speaking to me if he would have been like, and let's not forget, I pretty much ended the Cold War. So then I would have been like, oh my gosh. Anyway, he starts talking about footage. And they're like, well, what would you do? You know, because they're talking about the creeds. And he's like, there's a more story out there. But there's more story about Rocky, how he became Rocky, and about Apollo, and about Adrian, about Paulie. And I look over at my son, and I'm like, he's going to do a Netflix series. He's going to do a Cobra Kai. And I kid you not, Adrian, within like 45 seconds, he's like, well, the Karate Kid saga, they did a Cobra Kai. They do it now, how it's now instead of 1984. I would like to do one based in the 60s and 70s. He's like, we have, you know, political things going on. We have music that's there, everything else. And I am losing it. Like 6 to midnight losing it. Like, yep. This makes all the sense. No cell phones, anything else. I want the music, the political unrest. I want to see where Rocky, why he gets into being like basically before he's a fighter, he's a collection guy for a bookie. You know, type of thing. And he works in the meat packing plant. But I also want to see where Apollo comes from. And this pre-show is perfect. And he's basically pitching it to Netflix on this Q&A.
Right there.
And it's a no-brainer. I mean, greenlight it today.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great. I'm
sure it's already in the works.
It's gonna be great. So, I mean, that is hands down. They do a lot at the beginning about Rocky 3 going into Rocky 4. So it shows the background of it. They take away the sparring scene between Apollo and him. There's a lot to do with Tony Burton, who plays Duke, who was like Apollo's corner man, but ends up being like Rocky's mentor in Rocky IV and a little bit in a few others. Tony Burton has died within the past 2 years. So I think putting more scenes in with him was his way of being like the hat tip to him. Like, hey, we didn't give you enough when we should have, because he's got some big scenes. There is a eulogy at Apollo that was not in there, and it is a tearjerker. It is fantastic. But listen, mission accomplished.
Yeah.
My son walked out of there ready to fight any Russian, anyone. Like he would like if I were to take him to like a grocery store to Hy-Vee or whatever else and be like, that's what's, and he's like, what is that? And I'm like, oh, it's Russian dressing. He would probably like throw it on the ground. He's ready to go. At one point, my son looks over at me and he goes, Dad. And I go, yeah. And he goes, for my 11th birthday, can we rent out a theater and show Rocky IV with my friends? And I'm like, absolutely. That is the best idea. This is the best idea ever. Like, there's no better idea that's going to happen in 2022 than what he just decided to propose in 2021. So that's, there's nothing better. My daughter's all in. She's got tears in her eyes during montages of whatever else. So Rocky III and the thing. I'm like, she's in. I know that. He can't wait for Christmas to watch Rocky IV. I don't even know if I can show them the old one because they just saw a better one. I don't know how it happened, but they did it. And so now I got to watch Rocky IV to go back even more to what I think they did cut out. Did not cut out the great songs. No Easy Way Out, Burning Heart, the montages, him on the top, Drago. It was great. I got really upset at one point where I'm like, are they gonna cut out where Drago takes steroids? Because he takes steroids. He's a cheater.
He's a cheater.
And I'm getting really upset. I'm like, he better not take that out. Cancel culture Russians. And then they show it Needle. I'm like, he's a cheater, Ben. Do you see that? He's a cheater. He's a cheater. And he's like, yes. And my daughter hates needles, and she's like, what? I'm like, oh, I should have warned you about that. I was too busy talking to Ben about how this kid's a cheater. Should have warned you that a needle shot's coming in. He's going to get shot right in the arm with steroids. A little bit longer afterwards, they have the same speech. If I can change, you can change. Maybe the world can change, but they kind of go a little bit further on there, and they end it well. And seriously, Q&A, everything else, in and out, 2 hours. Loved it. It was perfect. Perfect. I knew I would be like, oh, I'm going to oversell it, and people may think they can say it on here, just comment on it, you're a fanboy. It was really that good. And it's on Amazon streaming. I don't know. I can look it up if it's
on Amazon or Netflix.
It's supposed to be Amazon streaming. Yeah, somebody's going to take this prequel thing and do it. Probably Amazon. I mean, if they're streaming this now and they see the downloads they get.
Yeah.
Who's the guy that's in Amazon? Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
Come on, Jeff.
Sign him up.
Come on.
Yeah, he's already made the call.
Absolutely. That's what he's gonna do. I think he's gonna call up like Mickey does in Rocky 2. He's gonna go, I think we ought to make a prequel, and Sylvester Stallone's gonna go, absolutely. Done. And by the way, won't even say goodbye to you when I get the phone call when they're like, do you want to be in the writer's room?
Yeah.
I won't. Adrian won't even give you the goodbye. I'm out.
See ya.
Yeah, I'm going to leave a note. Got to go see about a movie, just like in Good Will Hunting.
Will you label some of those buttons for me?
Sure. It's going to be, got to go see about a fighter. And then they're going to be like, son of a bitch stole my line. And be like, no, I took it from Good Will Hunting, but we'll throw it in somehow. That's it. It's, again, I should seriously be in the writer's room for this. I'm just blown away.
Sounds like you were in the writer's room for the last one.
That's what I'm saying. Do you ever have that moment when you're like, you feel like you like know these people even though you never met them? Like there was a time in my life where I realized that Billy Joel's Scenes from Italian Restaurant is my favorite Billy Joel song when I broke it down and I'm like, this is what this is about. And then years later on like a discography thing, like a book or whatever, and there's one where Billy Joel talks about a lot of songs. He'll do like behind how we wrote it, whatever else. And he's like telling an audience exactly what I thought of Scenes from Italian Restaurant like a decade earlier. And I'm like, oh my God, me and Billy Joel are on the same page. And that's what I felt like last night when Sylvester Stallone was doing it.
You should try to like write down what like changes you would make and stuff like that, and then like see how many of them come in for the next one.
You think he's gonna what?
He's gonna do another one, right? If this one is gonna be such a big hit, you don't think he's gonna redo a couple of them?
If he
or do you think he'll go to a prequel?
I think this thing is happening.
Yeah.
I truly believe this is happening, and I am not kidding you at all that phone call is made today. Well, over the weekend, how's that? When the streaming hits, which it will. I mean, 2 showings, and by the way, this was like 7 o'clock across the board. I called my buddy in St. Paul, and I said, hey, I'm a bad friend. And he's like, what do you mean? I go, I've known about this for like 4 weeks. I'm going to Rocky IV tonight. And he is like, what is going on? Why didn't you tell me? I go, I just told you I'm a bad friend. And he's like, I've got to do my son's basketball practice tonight, but I'm not happy about this. What is this? So he's looking at in the Twin Cities. everything is 7 o'clock. That's it. Somehow we've got a good enough area around here that we had 2 showings, 7:05. He just wanted like a 10 o'clock, and he wanted to ditch his family and go watch it. And so he's basically, I'm sure he took it out on the kids and made them run extra killers or whatever else. And be like, yeah. So
my friend Jay made me mad.
Yeah, but I told him. Yeah, and then Brad was texting me. He took his 11-year-old son. There was a thing, we're back and forth, where I texted Brad and I was talking. I even had to go as far as Google it, because Duke's in his corner, like at the very beginning. And we all know, like, no pain or whatever else. But when he says about Drago, he says, take his heart, I was like, that's it. We got a brand new line for Rocky. It wasn't in the original Rocky 4. He says, take his heart. And how could we not? How could we not ever say that anytime we go into any type of competition, to take his heart? That is, it was great. I loved it.
I love how excited you get about it.
I do get excited about it. I have no apologies, none at all. I don't care. Rocky, blah, blah. I don't have room in my life for the it's so cheesy type of thing. Like, it is perfect. And to have an 11-year-old just be like, let's go fight a Russian, I'm like, absolutely, let's do that. Because that's the way I was when I was 9 years old, when I first came out. And that's the way I am now at 45. And I was like, yeah, Drago's the worst. Yeah. So, there is a little bit more to Drago. Drago doesn't really speak much in the first one till the fight. Kind of when he says, like, if he dies, he dies. They let him talk a little bit more in the cut. They take away the absolute, I can't say the cheesiness because it's all there, but they're taking away the robot and taking away some of the scenes with his kid. And nothing against his kid, but it's just like, that's when you look at things and you're like, okay, in real life, not in Rocky life, IRL, when he's at the fight and he goes, I just want to say something to my kid who should be home in bed right now. And you're like, no, if it's 9 o'clock in Moscow, it's clearly like 8 in the morning in LA. So he's not in bed he shouldn't be in bed right now. That's why he's up on Christmas Day, which, by the way, you decided to fight on Christmas Day instead of spend it with your family or bring your kid. I don't know. But so they take that away, which is because that's always been a thing. I'm like, oh, what? I just want to say something to my kid who should be home in bed right now. Like, no, that's not the way time zones work, Rocky. It just doesn't. So, but that's out, and just a few other things when he's like, he's got friends over in the original, and it's the weirdest scene, and he's just like, that's my dad. And they're like, we know. What do you think we are? A bunch of nerds? A couple of nerds? And I was like, that what? Yeah. They know his last name's Balboa. He's a heavyweight champion of the world. Like, why would he say to these two kids? It's not like random kids he was at the playground. He's like, hey, you want to come watch a boxing fight? That never happens. So I think that was on purpose, because maybe it's just a little bit hurtful because his son has passed, and it's been years since his son's passed. But that's the only time his real life son has been in the theater, in the movie of one of the Rockies. But I don't think there's no reason to do 3 over. If he did 5, the reason why I won't think he'll do 5, he would do it, is because originally he had Rocky die in Rocky 5, and the studio came in. So I don't think there's any change there either. His favorite of all of them is Rocky Balboa. I didn't really care for his reasons for that, but it's a quick Q&A. I'm there with an 11 and 12-year-old, soon 10 and 11-year-old, soon to be 12-year-old, and I'm thinking they're going to get bored real quick if this doesn't happen. And then it wraps up, and they go straight into it, and good beats evil.
Yeah.
USA over Russia.
We're both sold out. Those showings. Could you tell?
The first one was down to like limited seats, like just one here and there. The other one, I couldn't tell. Mm-hmm. But when you sign up on the app, it looks like there's all these seats are taken. But at first, when I walked in, I was like, I don't think there's. But the people did kind of come a little late, type of thing, yeah. And if they don't care about the Q&A, they don't care about the Q&A. But I'm glad it was in. It was out. God, it was awesome. And yeah, I'll definitely watch the Amazon version again, just for one more. And the eulogy that he gives for Apollo it's great. And Duke's is better. The The only thing I will take away from that, and Rocky fans will know, is that when he does the eulogies, like, he gave me a shot when no one else would. He kind of gave him a shot as a, like, this should be an easy win, but I'm going to beat up on the white guy type of thing. They're going to take a chump, a tomato can, if you will. That's what Mick would have called him.
Tomato can?
Yeah. So, so I'm kind of like, oh, it's a little crazy here. Don't give Apollo too much credit or anything like that. But, and then you also have to be like, wait, he had 2 other kids, and how come they're not in Creed? Because I want to know about them too. Yeah, but the prequel, Netflix, I can't wait. January 2023, this is happening. 2024, January, 1 and 2, they're dropping.
Can't even get it next year?
I don't think so.
Late next year?
No, because I mean, even like Cobra Kai, like when that got done, that was like, well, the season 3 is not coming out till January of 2022.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, and like I said, it'll be in the works starting Monday. Amazon's gonna make this thing happen. Netflix better be calling. Highest bidder is gonna get it, and then they call me, and I'm in the writers' room. So, congratulations, everyone who got to see it. Please watch it if you want to. I really, I was thinking about this conversation, Adrian, at about 7:45 in the morning, and I was like, I need you to call Hacksaw so we can just both be on the line and tell you about how great these Rocky movies are and how great Rocky 4 was and everything. And I got done, and the first person I texted was Mark Van Severen, and I was like, hey, tomorrow, Amazon, Rocky Drago Director's Cut. It's incredible. And he's like, I can't believe I didn't pull the trigger on tickets. He's that and that. And then I text my buddy up in the Twin Cities, and he's like, for real? And I'm like, just incredible. Yeah. So, good night overall.
Good.
Then we had a football game.
There was a football game last night.
Yeah.
I guess.
So I guess now we got to talk about that.
That sounds awful.
So now the underdog wins again. Dolphins. I actually like the Dolphins at plus 7.5. I thought the hook meant a lot there in that 7.5. That was key. So taking the Dolphins was a no-brainer to me, to be honest with you. Tua came back.
Yeah, Brissett got hurt, but then Brissett was jogging on the sidelines, so that was really weird too. I thought that he could have came back in and kind of grabbed his helmet, looked like he was going back in, and then they kind of stuck with Tua for the rest of the game.
So
why isn't Tua starting if he's healthy enough to play?
Thank you.
If he's got,
if that index finger was so bad.
My buddy was in the bar, and he's a Dolphins fan. He's like, I don't understand what's going on either, and I'm just like, why is he even in pads right now? Like, he was in pads on the sideline. They showed him a couple times. I'm like, this man should be standing in a T-shirt. You know, he's got a broken finger. He couldn't play last week. If he's got a broken finger last week, he's still got to have a broken finger this week, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, wait a minute, he's out, but it's not a big deal. So, he was out, and ruled out.
I don't think he was ruled out last night. They just said Brissett was going to start.
So he's not the starting quarterback.
I don't know. It makes no sense what's going on right now. When I saw him in pads, everything just threw me for a loop. I'm like, has he lost his job? Is he? If he's healthy enough to play in the second half of that game, he's healthy enough to start the game, right? In my opinion.
So he's not the starter, is what we have to think. They just don't want to come out and say he's not the starter because they don't want the drama or the backup or the
now it's interesting because he came in and won the game basically.
Yeah,
now played well enough to win the game.
Now he's a starter. Yeah, the Ravens didn't look very good. I did
have that Ravens feeling at the end of that game though. Again, like they're gonna win this game. There's like 4 minutes left. They scored on a field goal. I mean, where was that offense the rest of the game?
I don't know.
The last 2 drives.
Yeah, they did that 99-yard drive.
I mean, there was a couple penalties in there. One was nitpicking again. I feel like, but
I thought there was gonna be a lot more. I was like, even like the defensive touchdowns. I'm like, this is overturned. I'm like, watch this flag come in, and everyone's like, what? Because I went. Got out in time to watch it, and I'm like, pay attention. Like the flag, they want this is the fix is in. I know this. I'm positive. Like the game's gonna be close. Ravens are gonna end up winning, and everyone's gonna be talking about the referees making some dumb call, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, the one roughing the passer call on that 99-yard drive where they drove him to the ground. I can kind of see that one. You can't really like drive him. I don't think into the ground like that.
Wasn't like
he was in the end zone, but the other one where he like.
Just had his hands up like
barely touched him. Yeah. I was like, oh, this is, and even Lamar put his hands up like, man, that's not passing interference, like, or not. That's not roughing the passer, man. Like, you barely got touched. Relax.
Yeah, that one was and I was surprised the other way. It went the other way, but yeah. Another underdog
Closing out the
covers.
game. So do we just cross them right out of our? I just want to do this right here. Just cross them right out of my power rankings.
Who?
Baltimore. Just
yeah.
How do you even judge these teams anymore right now?
I don't know. Okay, so where's Baltimore at now? They're at Chicago next week. Then they've got a divisional game. They go 3 divisional games in a row. Cleveland, Pittsburgh, at Cleveland. Bears are in a fine spot next week, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
They are not
coming off the bye.
Yeah, Bears are in a fine spot in week 11. Like, Ravens are not going to be looking at that game one bit. They do not care. I don't care if you're a Baltimore Ravens fan. You're like, no, they show up every week. No way. Not when you're doing 3 games like that. Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Cleveland. Not even a chance.
I just loved, too, last night how the pregame show was just completely all about how Lamar Jackson, like, had 5 touchdown passes or 5 touchdowns last time he was in Miami, and it's like a homecoming to him, and it's basically he's just gonna go run all over him. And Miami's defense came out and played a good game.
We're gonna guess those lines on Monday. If you want to do a look ahead right now, and you can, if they're out there, some places you can get a look ahead line. The Bears should probably be getting. I would say they're. So if the Dolphins are getting 7.5. The buys don't really mean that much in the NFL, by the way. The record against the spread is not that good. But the Bears should be getting somewhere similar to that 7.5, maybe even 5.5 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
I would be looking ahead right now to it because, trust me, that Cleveland at Pittsburgh at Cleveland in week 12, 13, 14 are more important than at Chicago on week 11. Yeah, Baltimore's got to make, and it's funny
Cleveland
because
twice in 3 weeks.
Yes,
wow, that's tough.
And that's what you're going to see also this week is there are a lot of. We've already mentioned Kansas City and the Raiders. Like this is a game like means a lot for both those teams.
Yeah,
and there's some other ones, and we've also mentioned San Francisco. They have the Rams this week, and that game means a lot to them as well. They're at home. I've got a fun fact for you.
Okay.
The San Francisco 49ers have not won a home game since the 2019 NFC Championship game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Because they only won like 3 games last year, didn't they? Or 3 or 4 or something like that?
And I don't care that they were playing some of them in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
They still did not win home games. They have not won any this year. They have not won a home game since the 2019 NFC Championship.
That's wild.
I know. That's something I heard that, and I was floored. I had to rewind the podcast like 3 times to be like, I didn't hear that right. There's no way.
Oh, yeah. There's got to be something different.
Yeah. So, and they play at home this week.
So take the Rams.
Take the Rams. Let's talk about them. Is this a good fit? OBJ.
He wanted to be on a contender?
Yep.
He's on his contender. A real contender, I guess you could say, because I guess I don't know what you're calling Cleveland, but, I mean, they're at top of that division now, right, with that loss last night?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, why not? I think it's a good fit.
Yeah, so the news that came out, we talked about Cam Newton, he signed, and then we have...
What's going to happen if he doesn't get the ball right away, though? Well, they've got to kind of scheme, throw in some plays for him right away, keep his focus, interested in it. And
yeah. I want to keep talking about OBJ and a little bit about Cam Newton, but we do have to take a break. But before we do that, here's my trivia question for you. Cam Newton, who just signed with the Panthers, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's returning to them, where he won the 2015 NFL MVP award. Can you name the 5 MVP winners since Newton? That's our trivia question here before we go to break. You guys think about it. You can write it on the Harrington's Pub Facebook comment thread. You're listening to ESPN 1170 AM on your dial and or watching us on Facebook Live or on the app ESPN 1170 AM, wherever you download your apps at ESPN1170am.com. Before we go to break, I want to remind you to join R Bar's Text Club to get exclusive offers and updates that were sent straight to your phone. You'll also get event announcements, new recipes and content, also contests and giveaways. You can also find all that at Facebook. I know they're going to have a party tomorrow for a 2:30 kickoff against the Minnesota Gophers, where you won't be hearing the chant, "Who hates Iowa?" And I've been through that. You can go to ESPN1170am.com where I wrote about that, the updated version of the 2021, the dumb chant that the Gophers do. Text RBAR to 1-833-302-2216 to sign up, or visit texrbar.com And like I said, you will get exclusive offers and updates sent straight to your phone. I do apologize to Skip and Derek there at the R Bar. They sent me a text. It was like, hey, we're going to be having shots every time the Dolphins score, and I forgot to slip that in. So my apologies to them. The guys know I love them, so I don't think they're going to hold too much of a grudge over it. They got a Dolphins win. They can't be too mad at me, right, Adrian?
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely. All right, we'll be right back here at ESPN 1170 AM. Don't hassle us, we're local.
This is WQAD's Matt Randazzo, and you're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
You know when you order a new video game, or a golf club, or a blender, and then it arrives at your door, you get a little thrill. Imagine how much more thrilling it is when you order a new car. With Nissan at home, you can shop for the perfect ride and order it without ever having to go anywhere. Sure beats a golf club or a blender. Buy a new car entirely online with Nissan at home. Delivered direct from dealer to driveway. Thrill starts here. Services may vary at participating dealers, subject to applicable law. See dealer for details.
Dell Technologies' biggest business sale of the year has arrived. Step up your vision with top tech up to 45% off during their early access Black Friday event. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Plus, get incredible savings on Windows 11 PCs, along with servers, monitors, and docks, all with free shipping. There's also special financing with Dell Business Credit. Get started by contacting your Dell Technologies advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Black Friday's here at JCPenney. And so are even more new Black Friday deals this Friday through Sunday. Don new Champion apparel for the family up to 40% off. Plus, find a little extra sparkle in your savings with up to 75% off fine jewelry. These deals and more end Sunday. Happy Black Friday, JCPenney. Offers valid on select items 11/12 through 11/14. Exclusions apply. Champion excluded from coupons. See store or DCP.com for details.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So your headlights are getting dim? With the seasons changing, now's a great time to change them. Upgrading your headlights can ensure you'll be safe and ready to handle darkness and fog. Oh, and we recommend replacing in pairs. That way you won't have uneven lighting over time. You can get all of your lighting needs fast with our next day delivery and free same-day store pickup. Getting the job done just got easier.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions and details at AutoZone.com.
An online presence was important, but now it's a necessity. Town Square offers premium website services that get you new leads every day. Go to mylocalcustomers.com to receive a free competitive analysis to help you find more local customers online and help grow your business faster. Plus, a dedicated marketing specialist so you don't have to mess with updating a website. It's fast and easy with no contracts. Cancel at any time. Be one of the first to sign up and receive $500 in free advertising on ESPN 1170 AM. Go to mylocalcustomers.com.
O'Reilly.
When you need auto parts, O'ReillyAuto.com is just a few clicks away. We offer convenient options for you to get your parts quickly. Order online and pick up for free at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store. We'll even bring it out curbside. Or you can have your parts delivered right to your door with free shipping on most orders over $35. Visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm MJ Acosta-Ruiz with the NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Xavier Howard forced the fumble and returned it for a touchdown. Jacoby Brissett left with a knee injury. Tua Tagovailoa, who didn't start because of a fractured finger, forced into action and led the Dolphins to a 22-10 win over the Ravens on Thursday night. Elsewhere, Odell Beckham Jr. has agreed to a one-year contract with the Rams worth up to $4.25 million. Beckham, released by the Browns, became a free agent when he cleared waivers on Tuesday. OBJ welcomed to LA by Lakers superstar LeBron James, who tweeted, quote, "Welcome to LA, my brother. It's go time." Plus, Cam Newton is back with the Panthers, returning to the team he helped reach the Super Bowl in 2015. The deal worth up to $10 million for the remainder of the season. Carolina adding some QB depth after Sam Darnold suffered a shoulder injury Sunday that will sideline him for 4 to 6 weeks. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover. All for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 6680 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 6680. Enjoy.
Download our app today to get breaking news sent right to your phone. Never miss a thing. From the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
Hi, this is Derek.
And this is Skip. We are the twins from Arbar Davenport.
And you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
On ESPN 1170 AM.
Back on the air here in the Hassle Castle. Me and Adrian breaking down everything from Rocky IV, the direct cut. Just kidding. No, we're back in
Don't Hassle Us IRL.
In Rocky life. It's
I still didn't get the answer to my questions. Did you tear up in front of the kids? That's what everybody wants to know, Jay.
The eulogy a little bit, but not like there was no tears rolling down my face.
Okay.
But Ben teared up, so I was like, oh, look at the humanity in this guy. Look at it, he's got empathy, or whatever else. And Sophie cried during the montage with throwback to like the Rocky III stuff or whatever.
It's okay to have feelings, Jay.
Yeah, I understand that.
You can have feelings.
I understand in 2021 everyone wants me to do that, but it's just the way I am. So it's like I said, they're not going to see Mickey. They're not going to see.
If you ever need to talk off air,
No, that's all right.
Just let me know.
So here's the story about OBJ and the Rams. He was going to wait till after Sunday.
Wait. Trivia question.
Oh yeah, the trivia. Thank you, Adrian. Yeah, you're the best at this. Trivia question. So Cam Newton signed with the Carolina Panthers. He was a 2015 NFL MVP award winner. I asked you and the people on the Harrington's Pub Facebook comment thread, who are the 5 winners of the MVP award since that was there?
I think I have 4. I'm not sure about the 5th.
Okay.
Not positive on that yet.
Okay, now give me your answers.
They're not going to be in order.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson was there.
2019.
Tom Brady was there.
2017.
Aaron Rodgers.
2020.
Patrick Mahomes.
2018.
Matt Ryan.
It is.
Is it Matt Ryan?
Yeah, 2016.
Is it Matt Ryan? Matty Ice? Yeah.
What am I missing? 5 years ago, what was I doing like in 2016?
Matty Ice was
that's
Matty
the year
Ice.
that they were up 28-3.
I think so. Oh no, was that year?
It's got to be.
I thought it was 2017.
I don't know. Tom Brady won that year. Yeah.
Was he the 2016 one?
I would lose that every single time about Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I was like, I do not remember him winning an MVP.
It was either him or Drew Brees in my head.
So Matt Ryan 2016, Tom Brady 2017, Patrick Mahomes 2018, Lamar Jackson 2019, Aaron Rodgers 2020. So Pete Seeger was on the Bill Simmons podcast. He does NFL Today and also does for Fox, and he talked about how the Rams thing came about with OBJ, and apparently he was going to wait till after Sunday. I don't know if it was more to see who the contenders are type of thing. They did a really, really good job recruiting him.
Who the Rams did?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's basically this when it comes to the front office and.
Oh, so we're talking this man had options.
Oh, yeah, he had options.
Oh, really?
It was like Saints, Chiefs, Rams. Yeah, people were.
When they was coming out the reports with that, I felt like those were just the teams he wanted to go to. It wasn't like those teams wanted him. I couldn't really see anything.
The Rams went after him and they said, "Look, one, why wouldn't you want to come to LA?"
Yeah, it's LA.
Yeah. I think it's Frank Lloyd Wright said, like, if you turn the world sideways, it'll all spill in and you'll find LA. It'll spill over and you'll find LA. The world's there. Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't you want to? 2, you can be yourself and still get lost in the crowd.
Yeah.
Can't do that in New Orleans.
Nope.
Definitely can't do that in Kansas City. Couldn't do it in Cleveland. New York, you probably should have been able to, but not so much.
And Green Bay, is all about air and stuff.
Yeah. You're going to get your targets. We're going to go 4 wide. We're going to air it out. Don't worry about this. He still was kind of like, I don't know. Then, what's even better, defensive players Jalen Ramsey gets involved, and Von Miller gets involved.
You know who really got involved?
Who?
LeBron.
And LeBron did too, yeah. LeBron did as well.
LeBron's that, what do you say? Welcome home.
Yep.
Now be free.
Yep.
Or something like that.
Von Miller's like, what? He's a week after being traded?
Yeah.
Come, we're gonna win something. We're gonna do something special. And he's been told, hey, this might be a 1-year thing, or you might want to sign a long-term deal. But until then, let's just play these 8 games out, remaining 8-9 games out in playoffs, and see what happens. Mm-hmm. He's like, I don't know. He's on like an actual FaceTime with Jalen Ramsey. And Jalen Ramsey,
do they go live and everything?
Supposedly,
Really?
they're talking face to face through the screens or whatever, and OBJ is questioning, I don't know. Am I going to upset that receiving core? Are they going to think I'm, taking food off the plate? Not in any targets. Jalen Ramsey at the Rams facility says, I don't know. Let's go find out. So he goes into the receiving meeting that they're in. Guys, you cool with OBJ? They all go, yeah. Why he's on FaceTime?
That's awesome. I gotta find this clip.
I'll pull it up in a commercial break or whatever else. Yeah, and they're all like, yeah, and so he's like, cool, and
that was it.
Yeah,
he's like, I'm gonna get on the plane.
Yeah. So I got a question for you.
All right.
I asked this last night. Do you, if you're a Cooper Kupp owner, trade him for fear that he's not going to get as many targets, or do you trade for him because now it's even opened up even more? I mean, he's got the most receiving yards through 9 games outside of Jerry Rice in NFL history.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. No, you want Cooper Kupp on your team.
So do you do it now?
Go get him.
Trade for him and say, hey, man, his targets are going to go down. We're looking at maybe 3 less targets a game.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
I think you got to go get him.
So I'm going to go. I was on the fence about it, and I think maybe you're right. I think maybe I'm going to put out some offers. I don't think anybody's going to bite.
No, just what he's doing is too much,
But
you're going to have somebody in a really bad situation.
Yeah, and you're going to have someone that you can convince to be like, oh, yeah, I guess you're right.
And you're going to have to sweeten that deal
and,
add a second guy.
So the Rams are all in.
Buy him a couple beers,
Yeah. The Rams are all in on this now.
Why wouldn't you be? Go get Megatron, too.
Yeah, exactly. At San Francisco this week, then they go on a bye. At Green Bay, it's not a must-win game, but it's a statement game for them in Week 12. They're home against Jacksonville. That's fine. We've seen Jacksonville on the West Coast against Seattle. The Rams should be 14 to 17-point favorites in that game. Then they're at Arizona, Seattle at home, at Minnesota, at Baltimore. Then they end with San Francisco at home. The Rams are shooting for that 1 seed. The Rams are shooting for the division. The Rams are shooting for the Super Bowl. Yeah. And it's one of those weird things when the NBA and you look at things and you're like, they're loading up on talent. It's one of those things where I'm, for some reason, oddly enough, I'm like, I hope this comes to fruition. I don't know why. Not that I'm, jumping around teams. Besides, I got Joe Burrows on my shirt today.
That's a dope shirt.
Thanks, buddy.
It's a great shirt.
Andy
man.
from the Natty sent it to me.
A lot of great shirts.
Andy from the Natty sent this to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has a great shirt. He's at LSU smoking a cigar. But yeah, I hope that looks good for the Rams.
What does that do? Do they win the division? Do they hop Arizona? Got to play them again.
They're 8. Arizona's at 8-1. They're 7-2. Yeah, they don't play again until I just said it, but week 14 at Arizona. So Arizona.
I get that we both have them in our top 5 of the power rankings, which those teams are, they're kind of the same team. It's just hard to. It's like 1A, 1B, 1C, kind of thing. Where does that do? How does that move them up? Or does that keep them pretty much pat? Kind of wait and find out. Is he playing Monday?
I think what I have them at. Do you have them at 3? I had them at 4, right?
I had him at 5.
Okay, then I might have had them at 6. I think maybe actually, or maybe I think I had them at 6. I was so kind of bitter about their loss to Tennessee. We'll see what they do at San Francisco. I don't think it takes anything away from that victory that San Francisco hasn't won at home since that 2019 NFC Championship.
Yeah.
So I don't think you can take away if the Rams win this week, but if they lose.
Does he play this week? Is he playing this week?
I don't know. Arizona has Carolina this week. They should win that game. Then they're at Seattle. They're going to throw everything at Seattle because they're on a bye on 12. Mm-hmm. So I actually like Arizona at that Seattle game. They're going to say, listen, everybody's putting everything in this. If we hurt our bodies, at least we have 2 weeks off because then we have the Bears at Chicago week 13. Then they have the Rams and they're at Detroit. It's fine. Colts at home, at Dallas, Seattle. The division might be wrapped up, might not. Week 17, 18. But Dallas could be right there saying like that week 17 game could be a matter of number 1 seed. So it could mean something. Seattle at home, week 18. I don't know. I think we both have the Rams at number 1 on our power rankings. They're in the driver's seat for that division.
Cardinals. Both of the
Cardinals. Yeah, sorry. Rams at second in the division, 7-2. The thing about Arizona is I think we're just waiting to see the wheels fall off.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even though we put them at number 1, and you even said, like, they're legit, I'm going to give it to them. I'm going to give them
win
their
a game
kudos.
with Colt
Without
McCoy, you know,
yeah.
That's something different. That's a tough thing to do.
Yeah, and it was on the road, and I'm not going to keep beating up on San Francisco saying, well, they don't do that or they don't win at home or anything. But the thing is there are just some games, and it could be one of those years, or it's one of those that's going to catch up to you. They beat the Vikings 34-33 in week 2. They were behind in the Jaguars game before they pulled away 31-19. They got a 17-10 win over the 49ers, 37-14 over the Browns, 31-5. So they lose to the Packers, 24-21. They have some convincing wins. But there's also time where you're just like, huh? Like what it is. A.J. Green's returning for the COVID list for the Cardinals. Is Kyler Murray back now?
I would imagine so. I think they said that he could have played last week if he needed
to.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, either way, I don't think the Rams are really caring about the division. I think they got their eyes on the prize of the ship, if you will. So, yeah, even though he's listed as questionable, he's also listed as a starter in this week. Yeah, and then the Cam Newton thing.
Yeah. I don't think it really does anything for fantasy. I mean, he's gonna play in this game, right? Like
I believe so.
PJ Walker is not gonna be your answer, and he should be out by.
I think he's worth a pickup in fantasy.
You think so?
I do.
Okay.
Remember we said yesterday, there's always that. Why not? There's always that chance where you have that second chapter of your career.
And everybody's got a roster spot that they can just
get
rid of. Okay, all right, I like it. You know what I thought would have been cooler if they would have picked him up before the Patriots game last week.
Oh yeah, well, he does have the Washington football team coming up. Mm-hmm. So, would you rather have Cam Newton or Mike White?
Mike White's starting again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the answer to this question. Okay, I really don't. I'm guessing Cam Newton. I'm gonna go Cam Newton. I'm not gonna do Cam Newton like that. But yeah, Mike White was impressive in that one start, and then, in my opinion, could have played last week and made that a game. But what do I know?
Would you rather have Cam Newton or Teddy Two Gloves?
Cam Newton.
Would you rather have? Is anyone starting Teddy Two Gloves? Would you rather have Cam Newton or Jared Goff?
Cam Newton.
Would you rather have Cam Newton or Tyrod Taylor?
Cam Newton.
Would you rather have Cam Newton or Wentz?
Wentz.
Would you rather have Cam Newton or Trevor Lawrence?
Trevor Lawrence.
Would you rather have Cam Newton or Derek Carr?
Derek Carr.
Would you rather have Cam Newton or Tua?
Tua.
Cam Newton or Kirk Cousins?
Kirk Cousins. Tua might be a little bit closer. I might take Cam over Tua.
Cam Newton or Mac Jones?
Mac Jones.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you don't think Cam could get you with your legs, extra points, fantasy? This is fantasy that we're talking about, by the way, folks. Not your starting quarterback. Would you rather have Cam Newton or Trevor Siemian?
Cam Newton.
Cam Newton or Danny Dimes?
Cam Newton.
I am taking Cam Newton over Mike White, by the way. One game doesn't do it for me for Mike White.
No.
Cam Newton or Jalen Hurts?
Jalen Hurts.
Cam Newton or Big Ben?
Cam Newton.
Cam Newton or Jimmy G?
Cam Newton. That's just because I don't know what's going on there. Yeah.
Cam Newton or Ryan Tannehill?
Tannehill. Tannehill.
Cam Newton and whoever's starting for the Washington football team.
Cam Newton.
Yeah.
I was shocked that they didn't go out and get him.
I know. You would think Riverboat Round's like, hey, let's do this. Let's do this.
I mean, they got to have some sort of relationship. I don't
Yeah.
think it didn't end poorly, did it? Or,
No.
Or do you think that Riverboat Ron's a little upset that, I guess the ownership kind of stuck with Cam and said let him go a little bit? I don't know.
You would think that. I thought that, yeah. I'm
It
surprised.
should be water under the bridge. Did you see what Mike White said? Let's talk about Mike White here.
Sure,
for a
let's do
second.
that, and then we'll take a break. What did he say?
Talk about Mike White?
No.
So,
I'm all in.
He said that in his opinion, he thinks he should have been the first overall pick.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
What? Listen, I know nothing about Mike White.
I know nothing about Mike White either.
So
I didn't even know Mike White existed.
Neither did I. I couldn't even tell you what draft he was in. Is he a rookie?
I have no idea.
Well, now I'm Googling him, and it's not coming up very fast because the internet doesn't care what
It's
Mike White
Mike
thinks.
White?
Yeah. But
I want to believe he's a rookie.
let's see. He played at the University of South Florida and Western Kentucky, and he was drafted by the Dallas Cowboys in the 5th round of the 2018 NFL Draft.
So he said he said that he thinks that he should have been the number 1 pick in that draft.
That's Cakert's here, and we're gonna take a break, and we're gonna talk.
Jay,
Hey, yeah.
You know what? I think he thinks he should be the first. Should have been the first pick, right?
Yeah.
I think I should be a supermodel.
Okay.
I'm the sexiest man alive.
Because I remember when we talked about Charlie Jones, and you're like, he's the captain of the Irrational Confidence team.
Yes.
No, Mike White's right there now too.
Yes.
He threw his hat in the ring.
He is.
Okay.
He's yeah.
Okay. We got to take our second break of the hour. When we come back, we're going to talk to Tom Kakert from Hawkeye Report, talk Iowa football and more, and look at some of the lines in the Big Ten and what he likes this week.
This is Matt Koss of the Quad City Times, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
Don't let the holidays sneak up on you for that hard-to-buy-for person. Let Premier Metal Art customize the perfect gift today. Multi-layered, full-color, powder-coated metal art, plus so much more. Tumblers, fire pits, even holiday decor and keepsakes. Let them customize the perfect gift for the sports fan, first responders, veterans, and family members on your list. Order online at qcpremier.com. Find them on Facebook or stop by their cash and carry location inside of Mattress for Less in Rock Island. Premier Metal Art. Finish your holiday shopping today.
Dell Technologies' biggest business sale of the year has arrived. Step up your vision with top tech up to 45% off during their early access Black Friday event. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Plus, get incredible savings on Windows 11 PCs, along with servers, monitors, and docks, all with free shipping. There's also special financing with Dell Business Credit. Get started by contacting your Dell Technologies advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
A vacuum. She got a vacuum. Sadie was a bit befuddled, for this gift was not on her list. Yet here it was, from her loving mother. Oh, but wait, this tale isn't as vacuous as it seems. Because a dog? A dog is something Sadie always wanted. But dog hair? Well, not so much. And what loving mother saw when she happened upon HSN while looking for a gift with gravitas was an engineer named Dyson, who has always done things differently, an artist at heart and at brain. Making things better was in his bones. Hence a cordless vacuum with the power and pickup that takes care of pet hair. So that's how we ended up here.
I love it.
Dog hair gone. So now, dog here, who is aptly named Dyson. So now, Sadie has 2 Dysons and 1 great holiday tale to tell. QVC and HSN. This is shopping brought to life.
At Shell, we know from the time you get up to the time you wrap up,
Good night.
there's a lot of meetups, eat-ups, and hurry-ups. So come to Shell and get 3 things done at once. Fill up with Shell V-Power Nitro Plus to help keep your engine running like new. Save up with the Fuel Rewards program and never pay full price for gas again. And snack up with in-store rewards to save even more at the pump. Make the most of the stop you need to make with Shell. And engines that continuously use Shell V-Power Nitro Plus premium gasoline. See full terms and conditions at fuelrewards.com.
Save on everything during Menards' last 11% rebate sale of 2021. Masterforce has the largest selection of power tool accessories with over 500 accessories in stock. From drill and drive bits to saw blades, sanding belts, and discs. Save today with 11% off all Masterforce power tool accessories. Menards' last 11% rebate sale of 2021 is good through Wednesday, November 24th. Savings are mail-in rebates. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
I'm MJ Acosta-Ruiz with the NFL Network now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Xavier Howard forced the fumble and returned it for a touchdown. Jacoby Brissett left with a knee injury. Tua Tagovailoa, who didn't start because of a fractured finger, forced into action and led the Dolphins to a 22-10 win over the Ravens on Thursday night. Elsewhere, Odell Beckham Jr. has agreed to a 1-year contract with the Rams worth up to $4.25 million. Beckham, released by the Browns, became a free agent when he cleared waivers on Tuesday. OBJ welcomed to L.A. by Lakers superstar LeBron James, who tweeted, quote, "Welcome to L.A., my brother. It's go time." Plus, Cam Newton is back with the Panthers, returning to the team he helped reach the Super Bowl in 2015. The deal worth up to $10 million for the remainder of the season. Carolina adding some QB depth after Sam Darnold suffered a shoulder injury Sunday that will sideline him for 4 to 6 weeks. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover. All for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 6680 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 6680. Enjoy.
We talk about every NFL game, Sundays, Mondays, Thursdays, even Saturdays. Get your football fix right here on the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 1170.
All right, we're back here in the studio, ESPN 1170 AM. Adrian and I, not only have we broken down, the director's cut of Rocky IV, which was awesome.
What was different?
All right, well, we'll do this. No problem.
Somebody missed the first half of the show.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. What was different?
Was there any...
Sure. Ask away.
Was there anything major that was different?
Yeah. They what they took away the underground boxing match between Rocky and Apollo. It's not in there. Because in the original one, in Rocky IV, that's where he kind of gets the itch that he still has it, because we are to assume that he won the fight between those two. We never see who wins, all right? But we're to assume he does. So he has the fight, he has the itch, and then he sees the thing about Drago when he's in the pool throwing the tennis ball to the Golden Retrievers, and he's like, all right, I get it. So that's where he gets the itch from. It's not so much that in this one, so they take that away. They take away everything to do with the robot. No happy birthday, Paulie.
Okay.
Almost every scene, actually every scene you're used to with his son in it is gone, except for one where he's kind of telling him he's going to go away to Moscow, and he actually adds more to it. It's more motivation. Sometimes you have to do what's right, even though you have to do inside, even though you think it might, it might hurt you or harm you, but you have to do certain things. You have to basically like feed this hunger that you have to.
Did we still get You Can't Win Rock?
No, you do not.
What?
Okay, Kurt?
That's the most like pivotal scene in the movie.
Okay, Kurt?
It's not Rocky 4 without You Can't Win Rock.
Okay, Kurt?
And then so the driving scene is the
It's
driving
in there, of course.
Okay. Where he shifts the gear like 20 times.
With so much ferocity, it's crazy. It's so good. All right. He takes it out because
Robert Tepper.
I am positive.
That's a good pull, is it?
Positive.
Is James Brown in it?
Of course.
Okay.
And he's fantastic.
All right.
I'm positive that somewhere along the way, through probably 6 degrees of separation, that someone has explained to Sylvester Stallone that there is this kid in Iowa who hates Adrian so much, not this Adrian, the character, because she says you can't win, to the point, and this is a true story, Kakert, not my proudest moment, but in Rocky Balboa, in the theater, when he said she died of lady cancer, I stood up and applauded in a theater. That's how much I don't like her. So I'm positive he tries to humanize her in this movie. I don't fall for his rouge, by the way.
Okay. So you don't like Talia Shire?
Not at all.
Wow. Does the character or her?
She accepted the role.
Okay.
Right? They could have had someone else. That's on her. She saw the script and she's like, I'm going to tell Rocky he can't win. They could have recasted anybody. She's not that important to it. Oh, by the way, here's another fun fact. Q&A. Original person to play her, Adrian, Barbra Streisand.
Wow, really?
He wanted to have a Italian and Jewish family, like kind of like not get along type of thing.
Sure.
Number 2, Cher. Number 3, Susan Sarandon, which I didn't see in 1976 because I really don't know her in anything but Bull Durham in 87.
Yeah.
4, I think that's it. And then she came in and read, and he was like, yep, she's good. Yeah, Barbra Streisand, Cher, Susan Sarandon. We're all
because she's the ugly duckling turns into the swan thing.
She's not a swan. She's not good looking. She's ugly inside, by the way, by what she said.
Wow.
She does say it's suicide.
Okay.
So when she says you can't win in the original, we already covered this, but I don't care. I'm regressing. I'll talk about this for 2 hours. That's when he says, like, well, maybe I can't, but he's got to be willing to die to beat me, and I don't know if he's got that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they cut that part out, too. They bring it up later when he's in Russia actually training, and they kind of, like, does a thing in the voice in his head. So that's cut out. They're trying to humanize her. They're trying to make her nice. She's in a lot of scenes. Again, I'm not buying the rouge. It's not happening. I've got invested 36 years of pure hate for this woman. I'm done. I don't care.
Okay.
I'm not changing. I'm stuck in my ways.
Right. All right.
Extra scene at Apollo's funeral. Eulogy is great. A lot more with Duke, Tony Burton.
Sure.
And I do think that was a thing like, hey, he passed away and I should have added more to it. There's a little bit bonus extra scene at the end of the fight.
Where the Gorbachev look-alike comes in and hugs him or something, hugs Rocky.
He does not hug him in that, no.
Okay.
No, the crowd comes in and does that, but you can stream it on Amazon.
All right. I'll look for it.
You should. I highly suggest it. By the way, this is going to happen also.
Another Rocky movie?
Oh, better.
A Creed movie?
There would be more Creeds, trust me. He's going to pitch it, and it's going to be okayed once it breaks records for streaming over the weekend. On Monday, mark my words, Jeff Bezos of Amazon and or whoever is in charge of Netflix is going to greenlight a series of a prequel for the Rockies.
Oh.
Uh-huh. He wants to do it.
Like a young stallion.
Exactly.
Young stallion.
And Apollo and Adrian. Don't care about her story. And Paulie as well.
Wow.
He wants to show how they all grew up and that time that, the political unrest in 68, you have your civil rights movement and then all the way into the 70s type of thing. And he thinks he can.
Will they have a young Spider Rico in there?
Of course, he loves to put Spider Rico in everything that he can.
Okay.
It's going to be like Wonder Years meets Rocky. It's going to be incredible.
How about me pulling Spider Rico for you?
Yeah.
Nobody else knows that except me and you.
I know. I'd love it.
Spider Rico.
He brings him in Rocky Balboa, like he's like the host or whatever else.
You know, one of my favorite scenes in all of the Rocky movies is the one in the first Rocky where Mickey comes to his apartment. He talks about all those old fighters. I went against.
Yeah.
It's the best.
It is. See,
and he dismisses him out the door, and then he goes and runs him down and hugs him.
Yeah,
you know. So one of the great how Burgess Meredith didn't win an Academy Award for that
beyond
role
me
is just
beyond me. I don't know the things that. A bunch of tomato cans. I think we ought to murder the bum. I love it. Get up, Rock, because Mickey loves you.
What's Mickey's last name?
Calloway?
No.
What?
It was like Goldmill, wasn't it? It was Goldmill.
I think it is. Yeah, I think you're right. Goldmill's Gym or something. Yeah, again.
I just remember that from the casket when he died.
Yeah, well, that's a scene that I've not seen in a long time because I always fast forward it. I've told Adrian and the listeners, I fast forward it every time because I tell my kids you're never going to see your dad cry. So I have not seen that scene in a very, very long time because when it's on, we either turn the channel or if I'm watching it on demand or DVD or VHS, I just fast forward it. So, all right.
You do not still have a VCR.
No. I'm saying I own the Rockies on VHS though. In case anyone does not, they need to borrow it, want to check it out. That's fine.
So what about Iowa this weekend?
Yeah, let's talk Iowa. Okay. All right, so let's go back that last week. Spencer got hurt in the fourth quarter, and they kind of said
against Wisconsin.
Against Wisconsin, and he comes out to the first series.
Three series. He played three series, and then he was, and you could tell right away.
3 for 4, 2 for 4, something like that.
2 for 4.
Yeah.
I was watching him, not as closely in warm-ups, but more when the game started. And, obviously, well, people can watch this on Facebook. After every throw, he was doing this. He was
just not comfortable.
Yeah, it was like he was trying to get his shoulder loose, trying to get things loose. And he just couldn't do it. And so I just kept watching him after every throw. He just didn't seem right, and the ball wasn't getting there. And I was like, I said to, gosh, who was sitting next to me? I think it was John Bonenkamp, Steve Batterson, I think were sitting near me. And I just said, you're not right. There's just something going on. And then I just kept watching the sidelines. After that third drive, I saw Padilla put his helmet on and start warming up. And I'm like, oh, it's going down.
Yeah, it's happening.
It's happening.
And usually it's the opposite. He's overthrowing people most of the time.
Get the Ron Paul gif, the it's happening gif going, and it's happening. And I think he came in, and Padilla did really well. First 2 drives, touchdowns, and gets points on the board. And they played, I thought, fairly conservative in the second half. Just didn't sustain any drives. But I think they also knew that they could get to the window and win. I think they knew that they were pretty safe. So
just get the W and don't worry about the spread.
Yeah,
just get out of there. Yeah.
So, like, what were your feelings when you went in? Because trust me, there's social media is about time, blah 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 type of thing.
Yeah, I was. I was interested to see how he would do, because I think everybody wants to know the answer. And that's why I think this weekend, 100% he has to play Alex Padilla ahead of Spencer, even if Spencer was healthy. I think you can't. It would be like throwing Spencer to the wolves if he went out there and came out under center in that first drive and spit the bit, had a 3-and-out or something.
Yeah,
I mean, it would just be like the Boo Birds would just be flocking all over Kinnick Stadium. So my suggestion was that they start, and if Alex struggles and Spencer's available, then you can go to him. Second half, just come out, see if he can, if he's better in that situation. That was my thought. So we'll see what happens. I assume that Padilla's still starting. I have not heard anything different. So it'd be I'm interested to see. It's a different feel. You know, I was talking to Chuck Long about this on Monday on our podcast, and just it's a different feel for a quarterback when you come in as a off the bench where you're just kind of going and playing and you're not having to think about it. Whereas this week he's known he's going to be the starter and you've got all that kind of rolling around in your head for the first time. And it's probably a little bit nerves maybe, but the weather is going to be a factor. It's going to be colder and probably a little windy. So it'll be different for him. It's going to be a different sort of challenge, a better defense. Minnesota's defense, more aggressive, better. Got some good rush ends. So be a challenge.
Minnesota has lost 3 running backs this year, but they still have Tanner Morgan. And, this is it's a big game as far for Iowa because they can start to make a push maybe. Well, I mean, they're there for the Big Ten West, but it keeps their hopes alive to win it.
Yeah, it keeps their hopes alive to win the division. And it's not all that hard for Iowa to get there. Now, I think Wisconsin. I think everybody kind of would agree that Wisconsin controls this pretty much because they've got the wins over Iowa and Purdue. So, there's 4 teams in that race, and they've got 2 wins. Iowa does not have those wins, so Iowa needs some help. What Iowa needs is for Minnesota to beat Wisconsin or somebody to beat Wisconsin, and Iowa has to win out. Those things happen, and assuming Purdue loses a game, assuming Purdue loses this weekend too.
Okay. Well,
they've got to go to Columbus.
But they got 2 wins over top 5 teams.
That line stinks. It's like that.
Do not take that. Do not give those points.
It's like last week's Purdue line where everything you looked at that and you go, why is Purdue only 3.5 dog? And I'd be like, they're just begging you to take Michigan State, so you're automatically taking Purdue because you want to be on that side. This week it's like begging you to take Purdue, so why wouldn't you? Why would you take? You'd automatically take Ohio State.
Purdue hasn't lost a game by 20 points in 3 years.
I know it's 14-0 is double-digit dogs.
Yeah,
that's a stat I heard.
Yeah, they haven't lost a game by more than 20 points since 2018.
Yeah.
So, but you're saying they're begging you to take Purdue.
Yes.
So you're trying to say Vegas is onto something, so you think Ohio State's going to run them.
Yeah.
Wow.
So same logic as last week, where the logic would say, "Oh, you're taking Michigan State, the undefeated team, going to Purdue."
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll go Purdue. This week I would go. If I'm going to avoid that game because I don't like it.
Yeah, and I want to talk about more lines like that, but I want to see. I'm going to try to pull up as fast as I can about
like the Iowa Minnesota line that opened 7. And now it's down to 4.5 some places. And I jokingly said that Vegas knows that Petrus is starting. Just to get everybody riled up.
Yeah. I want to see where the handle is on this, and I will find it as we talk. It just sometimes takes me a while to find it. I wonder where the number of tickets that are coming in versus the money. And if it's gone down from, like you said, 7 to 5.5, which I did see that means some serious sharp money is on.
Sharps are on Minnesota, and it makes sense, right? Because the total is only 37, and if you just using that as your kind of marker, you would think that it's not going to be more than a 7-point game with the total that low.
Yeah,
if you think Minnesota's going to score like 10 points,
I don't.
20 points.
It's the lowest
15.
on the board. The over under overall.
I think every week Iowa's games are going to be the lowest on the board. Next week it'll be low. Mm-hmm. Nebraska will be low.
Yeah, so they host Illinois next week, and then Nebraska. Nebraska fired all their assistant coaches. Scott Frost is coming back next year no matter what, right? but they're restructuring his contract.
Yeah.
We love talking about Scott Frost.
Scott Frost.
He's just, yeah.
You know who's not good at gambling? Matt Randazzo.
Yeah, why?
He just is.
Is that what he says?
Pat's really good at it, though.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh.
He wins every weekend.
That's what he tells you.
No.
Don't say it out loud. Now he's got to tell Mary, though. Yeah, that's not fair to him. So what does he show you his bets and say like, hey, this is what I'm good at?
He's won like $1 million this year.
Sure, yeah. IRS is going to be calling him, emailing him right now. That's great. Randazzo's, he's got a bunch of buddies who are degenerates too, though.
Yeah.
Like us. Yeah.
Yeah. He's just not very good at it.
He's just not very good at it.
No.
So, all right. So you do like Ohio State to cover this week, the 21.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's the side. That's the side they're begging you to take.
Yeah. That open at 20. That has not moved at all.
Always go where the public is not.
Where do you? Yes, of course. We want to go where the handle is, not the tickets. And again, we'll look at that. So where are you siding on? Iowa, Minnesota.
I think Iowa covers.
Okay, I do too.
I think Iowa's going to cover. They just kind of own this series. Now the concern you would have is that Minnesota's been good on the road. They've not been good at home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that inexplicable loss to Bowling Green as a 30-point favorite earlier this year. Lost to Illinois up there where they just looked anemic.
Yeah.
But they've, Colorado's terrible, but they went there and won 30-0. They've won at Purdue, which looks better every week. So they've done things on the road. But I think, as we saw last year with the leave the timeouts, take the pig comments, I think Kirk's kind of living rent-free in PJ Fleck's head.
Yeah, I agree. It's 6 straight, right? Yeah, it's 6 straight that they've beaten him. I know PJ hasn't been there for all of them.
Philip John.
Philip John. The other games in the Big Ten, though. Penn State, Michigan. Michigan's on the road, favored by 1.5.
It's been moving to Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
The line has. So that would suggest that maybe some of the sharp money, because the public would be on Penn State probably just as a home team with an equal shot. So, but I don't know. Michigan's kind of beat up, and
does not have a good record against ranked teams.
He does not have a good record.
It's like 1-10 or something like that.
He's terrible against ranked teams. I would take Penn State. Penn State's due to get one of these games.
Okay.
Let's
talk about that, though. Because you do a good job when you have your podcast and when you're writing for Hawkeye Report, having people like behind enemy lines type of thing. I'm sure we'll come back to Minnesota. You have it on there. But do you talk to the Penn State people? Is there any truth or any buzz behind Franklin leaving? He switched agents.
Oh, there's 100% chance that he's going to shop his services. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. 100% he's looking around. Oh, yeah.
Even though he says, I'm not gonna deal with these, I'm just putting it to bed, I'm not looking or anything, but he's...
Come on.
I love it. Yeah, I think he is.
You remember when Nick Saban said that I'll be in Miami and not in Birmingham or Tuscaloosa?
Yeah.
Remember? And where was he like a week later?
Yeah.
All right, well, we've talked about this as well before we look at more lines. What do you think about Tucker from Michigan State going down to LSU?
Possibility.
Okay.
I think it would be interesting. I think Franklin's a better fit at SC.
That's where I think he's going.
Yeah,
I think 100% he's going there.
He would not. To me, the logical thing is that's a much easier conference.
Mm-hmm.
It's a much easier division. You're not having to butt heads with Michigan and Ohio State.
Nope.
And and coming up short 2/3 of the time.
Valley.
Yeah, you're not living.
You're not living in Happy Valley. Period.
It's true.
I mean, that's
the other thing.
You're in LA. Okay.
That's the other
job
thing.
sounds real nice.
Yeah, it sure does.
Matt Campbell to Penn State.
Interesting take.
There you go.
You think so?
Midwest guy, Ohio guy. kind of fits. Get out while the getting's good.
Is it good?
Well, this is like you remember this was supposed to be the greatest team in Iowa State history.
Of course it was, yeah.
And it's got 3 losses.
But did I see something like dumb, like he's got more Big 12 wins than any other Iowa State coach?
I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
Still.
Are we sure he's a good coach?
I don't know.
You're so
Everybody
nice.
loves him.
I don't.
National guys, they all love him. Think he's
Every year they talk about him preseason. Oh, watch Iowa State. They're going to do this, or Campbell's going to go here.
How's he done against Iowa?
Not well. He's never won.
Okay.
He doesn't even mention Iowa. He just says that team to the east. Franklin to USC.
That team to the east keeps beating him, even when he's got better teams.
Franklin to USC, Campbell to Penn State. Interesting.
I don't know who Michigan State would get if they lost Mel Tucker. It'd be interesting.
Campbell? No, I don't think so. That when you just bring up that Ohio ties, I don't know. It's
Penn State's a way. If your choice between Penn State and Michigan State,
Penn State.
State's a way better job.
It's Penn State
way
all the time.
Better job.
Indiana, Rutgers. Indiana's -7.
Ugh, what an ugly.
I know, but I have to bring it up.
I know. I will take. Rutgers, I think, is dead. That 52-3 game last week is just, man, that's a truck. Boat raced. Indiana's a mess, though. But I think they'll just be able to score more points. So, give me the Hoosiers.
Michigan State -12 at home against Maryland.
Maryland's dead. They're still looking for that 6th win to get bowl eligible so they can go to the Pinstripe Bowl or whatever and have fun. Enjoy going to the Pinstripe Bowl. Terps. Dirty Terps.
Yeah.
I think Michigan State bounces back. Kenneth Walker, big game.
There's Wisconsin -24.5 playing host to Northwestern.
Historically, Fitz, pun completely intended, gives them fits. He does. He gives Wisconsin problems. But having seen both those teams recently, boy, I would think that they're going to Wisconsin's going to truck them. Wisconsin's just like the freight train right now, just going downhill. They're just, they're a problem. They figured out their identity. They tried to be something that they weren't the first half of the year, with Graham Mertz being kind of the focus of the offense. Now they've gotten down. Now I do worry about losing Malusi, the running back, for the year. But that Allen kid is probably their best back. He's just a big dude. He's like freaking John Clay or something, from back in the day. Just a Ron Dane, just big dude that goes downhill.
Yeah. There's some other games in like top 20 that could do some shakeups. How do you feel about the college football playoffs, or do you even give them any type of notice when we're only 2 weeks into it?
How could they rank Michigan ahead of Michigan State?
It's a great question. We said it on Wednesday as well. You can't sit there and say, and you know Barta, so let's talk about this.
I felt bad for Gary because Saturday morning or Saturday after seeing all those signs at the college game day, did you see all those signs?
No, what?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, because they were at Cincinnati?
Yeah.
What were they?
They were just killing them.
I was too busy staring at Nick Lachey. No, I'm kidding.
Big 98 degrees fan?
Yeah, huge. Yeah.
I figured.
Why wouldn't
So's
you?
Pat Anger. He's a big 98 degrees fan.
Yeah, 98 millionaire too.
Yeah, he is. $98 million.
So, what were the signs that Gary Barta for game day?
There was like a Gary Farda. And I didn't know that story and then I found out from Doctorman that story was because somebody sent him an email last year from BYU. And somebody did a Freedom of Information Act thing on it, and the email was addressed to Gary Farda. Not Gary Barta, it was Gary Farda.
A Brigham Young alum wrote, or a fan wrote, called him Dear Gary Farda.
Yeah.
in the Freedom of Information Act and uncovered it.
Yeah.
So the NFL goes through 650,000 emails, and they come up this. Someone comes up with this about the
Gary Farda.
the college football playoffs, and come up with Gary Farda. I'm never going to hear that name again the same way.
There were some other things I'm not going to mention. 'Cause it's
Sure.
kind of mean, but
Hey, you can just start off with the humor, and then you can get mean after that.
it was just brutal. And then I'm sitting up in the press box, and I see him walk through the press box, and I actually felt kind of bad for him. I'm like, you just took it right in the nuts today.
So-
just like a bat right to the nuts.
So
Cup check. Oops, I forgot my cup today.
he turns around and he says, Oregon's over Ohio State because they won head-to-head in week 2.
Yeah.
And then when they say, well, how is Michigan ahead of Michigan State, and they played 2 weeks ago, he says, they just look like the more complete team to our committee. None of that makes sense.
It makes no sense. You saw them play.
I know.
Against each other. And Michigan State won.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
And
That's the flaw of... Now, I do think head-to-head matters. I don't think head-to-head is the be-all, end-all. Like, I think Ohio State, Oregon, you could make a case to flip them because it was so early in the year and the teams are different now. But Oregon's still winning. Here's the thing I think about the college football playoff. It's just Georgia and everybody else. You know.
Yeah.
It really is. Everybody else is got some stink on them at this point, right? Cincinnati can barely beat teams that are bad.
Yeah.
But they should be boat racing those teams, and Bama hasn't looked impressive. Ohio State's kind of just getting by. Oklahoma, my gosh, they had to struggle to beat Kansas.
Yeah, and that was pointed out when we talked about Oklahoma, but they are undefeated.
They are undefeated.
They just only have one win against a ranked team or one win against a team with a winning record. I can't remember which one it is. And that's where the argument comes in against Oklahoma. You have Wake Forest, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think they should be in there. But we kind of talked about it, that it probably should be 1 Georgia, 2 Cincinnati, 3 Oklahoma type of thing. But, I mean, Oklahoma has an argument.
They have basically told us that Cincinnati's not getting in.
Basically.
Yeah.
Something's going to have to happen. Some more teams are going to have to lose for them to get in.
Yeah.
This might be the year where a 2-loss team gets in.
Okay. So was that just setting up for Alabama to lose in the SEC championship against Georgia?
Against Georgia. Close game.
Is that going to hurt that much about Georgia and their linebacker?
A little bit. This weekend's going to be interesting because that Tennessee team's frisky.
Tennessee's kind of fun to watch.
Heupel's done a really good job there.
They should be happy down there in Tennessee because they've been gone a long time since the T. Martin days.
It helped that they decided to go to Hendon Hooker, too, as the quarterback. I mean, because that Joe Milton guy was he wasn't good at Michigan.
Is there any other college football games that you like this week to take a look at?
Throw a couple at me.
Well,
Let me look.
Oklahoma at Baylor. Oklahoma's favored by 5.5. This would be a big win for Oklahoma. This would be a big win for Oklahoma. They're at Baylor. This is a ranked team. The over under 62. Oklahoma is favored on the road.
Minus 5.5. Baylor.
I always bet Baylor.
Would you lay 51.5 in Bama?
I did see that.
I did not see that.
That game's gonna be like 63 to 3, right?
Are they playing Mercer?
No, they're playing New Mexico State.
Oh my goodness! See, that's a fun
stuff. I like Utah this weekend.
Okay.
24.5. I'd buy the hook.
You'd pay the extra juice to move it down to 24?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm frightened of the hook.
Georgia's minus 20 on the road against Tennessee.
Yeah, that's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points. On the road. Iowa State is favored on the road against Texas Tech. They're favored by 10.5.
It's a lot of points on the road. But I think the Clones are going to win.
Yeah, Iowa State has one. I should know better than this because I just covered it for Brownell Camp on KGYM on Wednesday. Iowa State has been
I heard
down.
you're a big star on that.
Thanks.
Station
I don't
now.
know if that's true or not, but I just feel like you're inflating my ego, and I'll take it.
I have heard that the ratings go way up.
I bet. I don't know. I just talk.
The female listenership just goes through the roof.
Listen, I spew stuff for 15 minutes, and I feel like I'm the Mad Money guy, just screaming out lines and trends that I'm seeing here
Todd
and there.
says you do great. I'm
makes
going
me-
on that show today.
Are you? That's great.
4:30.
I tried. By the way, I tried to get on his show, and he didn't reply back to my email. A week ago Wednesday, I'm like, do you take call-ins? Because I would like to talk about the Aaron Rodgers situation. I would like to talk about the rumor, and I think like
What rumor?
There's a the things that I am obsessed with. It's gonna.
Hey, by the
drive
way,
me-
Arizona
yes.
State -6 against Washington. I think Washington's kind of a train wreck right now.
Okay.
And Oregon State's going to just demolish Stanford. So
Yeah. What is it? 20.5? Did I see? What is it?
12.5.
12.5. Oh,
Yeah, just
dyslexia
put the
coming in.
lumber on that one.
Before we go to break, I'll tell you. The Rumor is a podcast that is basically, it's about August 14th, 1997, when the lights went out, the power went down in Camden Yards.
Oh, that's okay. I thought maybe you were gonna the rumor about the second spitter in Seinfeld. Or something.
No, but it's right up there with a dumb conspiracy theory or whatever else. So yeah, I love the idea that
But Cal Ripken's wife was
sleeping with Kevin Costner. Yeah, and so he went to go get something, he caught him in bed or whatever else, and they had to change it. Yeah, he called the So I was like, I want to talk about this. Oh, and I wanted to talk to him about. So I'm like, can we talk about the Manning curse? And now he's tweeting at me. He's like, Manning curse still alive after Josh Allen. So now Todd's like all in on the Manning curse now after I told him about the Manning curse. So, but yeah.
Who was on this past week?
They didn't have it.
Oh, that's right.
Which we were dying for because we can't wait for Jay Cutler to be on.
Yeah.
We think he's going to be fantastic on the Manning cast, which they call it Manning cast. We call it Manning Night Football. But I think it would have been great to have him. So, what is the Monday night game this week?
Rams and Niners.
Rams-Niners.
Oh, boy. I guess we get to speculate, but we can do that now. It's Friday. Who do you think is going to be Rams-Niners? You got to get a plethora.
Kurt Warner.
Yeah.
Kurt Warner's definitely going to be on, by the way. Yeah, wait a minute.
He's on a different network.
I don't think that matters because they had somebody from Fox till like week one
Did
on the Manning Night Football.
Why don't you have Joe Montana on?
Does he ever do stuff like that?
I don't know.
Here's the deal. Does him and Eli have any beef? Because Eli basically took his job.
I don't think so.
I don't know if they do or don't. So, but
Steve Young?
Kurt wouldn't do it. Steve Young definitely would go on there.
But he's already on ESPN, so why would he do that?
You have to have
Vince Ferragamo? Would Vince Ferragamo go on?
You have to have a celebrity. Who is a big
Dieter Brock?
Who's a big Rams fan? Who's a big 49ers fan? Celebrity. That's what you got to have. And then you got to have like one defensive player. Would Dion go on? I mean, he played for the 49ers for a little bit, and then he can pump up his coaching at, was it Jacksonville State?
Prime
time would be great on there.
Coach Prime. Coach Prime just got out of the hospital, though.
What happened? COVID?
I don't know. He had some foot issue. It was gross.
Oh. What is it? You found him on Instagram or something?
Yeah, he took a picture of it.
That's unnecessary. All right, we do have to take a break. We've gone 30 minutes plus or whatever else. We'll be right back here. ESPN 1170 AM. Don't hassle us. We're local.
This is Merrick Brave from SCW Pro, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
Don't let the holidays sneak up on you for that hard-to-buy-for person. Let Premier Metal Art customize the perfect gift today. Multi-layered, full-color, powder-coated metal art, plus so much more. Tumblers, fire pits, even holiday decor and keepsakes. Let them customize the perfect gift for the sports fan, first responders, veterans, and family members on your list. Order online at qcpremier.com. Find them on Facebook or stop by their cash and carry location inside of Mattress for Less in Rock Island. Premier Metal Art. Finish your holiday shopping today.
Dell Technologies' biggest business sale of the year has arrived. Step up your vision with top tech up to 45% off during their early access Black Friday event. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Plus, get incredible savings on Windows 11 PCs, along with servers, monitors, and docks, all with free free shipping. There's also special financing with Dell Business Credit. Get started by contacting your Dell Technologies advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So it's about time for an oil change? We've got what you need. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic or synthetic high mileage motor oil and an STP extended life oil filter for just $36.99. And you can get it all fast, your way. Just order online with our free same-day store pickup or next-day delivery.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Start your job today at AutoZone.com. Restrictions apply.
What if you could find gifts inspired by stories instead of stuff? At QVC and HSN, you can. Like perhaps there was this 4-year-old sous chef, Sue to his grandma Maud, who concocted the best cottage pie. And later, when sous chef became master chef, Maud became his first restaurant and the inspiration for the Curtis Stone collection. And imagine the stories a pan from that collection can spark when gifted to just the right chef. QVC and HSN. This is shopping brought to life.
What girl doesn't dream of getting dressed up in diamonds on her wedding day? With the Something Borrowed program at Dolan Jewelers, dreams do come true. With the purchase of your engagement ring and diamond from Dolan Jewelers, you can borrow up to $25,000 worth of our jewelry to wear on your wedding day absolutely free. Shop our huge selection of popular engagement rings, as well as his and her wedding bands. Financing is always available, so come visit Dolan Jewelers at 3865 Elmore in Davenport or dolanjewelers.com.
Oh, excuse me?
Yes?
Is your apartment empty?
No, all my stuff's there.
Like what?
My big screen TV, computer, iPod, etc.
Are you sure?
I think so.
Because your landlord's property insurance doesn't cover those things from fire, vandalism, and theft.
Oh.
But if you had renter's insurance, they'd be covered.
I gotta go back home. I think I left my oven on or something.
Protect your possessions with renter's insurance. Contact Jorgensen Insurance in the Quad Cities. Online at jorgenseninsurance.com.
Mike Greenberg. Greeny.
So Baker Mayfield is a guy who came into this season with probably as much riding on the outcome as anybody. He's in the same draft class as Josh Allen, who's gotten paid, as Lamar Jackson, who is now setting himself up to get paid, like a Mahomesian kind of contract. And Baker is the guy for, I think, all of the right reasons that there was some question. Do you pay him or do you not? And he bet on himself. And if he had a huge year, which he isn't, and if the Browns had a huge year, which they aren't, then he probably stood to make like $150 million. But now what's going to happen? So they've picked up his 5th-year option. This is his 4th year. So he's got one more year. Does he go the Kirk Cousins route? Like, does he try and position himself into a place where he becomes the franchise tag guy?
Greeny, 9 till 11 on the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 1170. From the Vegas Gaming Cafe, this is the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 1170 AM, KBLB Davenport, a Town Square media station.
To the foe, Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre is at the door, ready to make an entrance, so back on up.
Before I have to pull the strap out the cut,
give me the microphone first so I can bust.
Welcome back here, ESPN 1170 AM.
Everything just took a turn.
It took a turn for the right reasons. When so Kakert informed us that he's got a posse going down to St. Louis at the end of January.
So it's my version of the Four Horsemen.
Sure. Sounds like your version of the Four Horsemen's turning into NWO because it sounds like more than 4.
No, it's just 4 of us that have seats together.
And then add the Angerers.
Yeah.
Yeah, though you 4 have it. Yeah, your version of the Four Horsemen. So you're going down to Royal Rumble in St. Louis.
Yes.
Which automatically, Adrian and I looked at each other and like, we're going to the Royal Rumble too. Weird.
You can't go without us.
Yeah, we will see you there. That is a great idea to go down there. It's down in St. Louis. Take a shot. Just drive straight down there.
Come back on Sunday.
It's on a Saturday.
Yep. Come back on Sunday.
Man.
You don't have to take any time off of work. It's just there was no basketball game that weekend for me, so I was like, yeah, we can do that.
I got to get myself back in the game then if I'm going to figure this out, because my first response is, well, Randy Orton's winning the Royal Rumble. But he'd have to pick which one he is. Is he on the SmackDown or the Raw?
Not Lesnar? You don't think Lesnar's going to be in that? Winning?
You don't have to because you get to pick which one you want to do. So he doesn't have to go against the Universal Champion. You can just go against Big E instead.
You think Randy Orton's going to get it?
He's St. Louis kid.
Yeah.
That's all. And
Yeah.
has he ever won the Royal Rumble? I believe he has.
He has.
Yeah.
I think it'll be Lesnar.
It's boring.
That is boring.
It's not going to be like anything with The Rock. He already said he's out for Dallas.
Yeah.
He'll be at L.A. probably, though.
How about if it's like Xavier Woods or Kofi and they pick Big E? How about that?
Yeah, they did
How
the
about
Kofi thing a couple years ago. I feel like that's
Kofi Mania.
Yeah.
The storyline doesn't work
They just gave Xavier Woods the King of the Ring. That's probably all they're going to give him.
because they're not going to break up the New Day.
It's just too
Yeah.
marketable still.
What
And
if
they don't
John
wanna be
Cena
broken
comes
up.
in and John Cena wins the Rumble?
I think you're better off with Lesnar and or Orton right now. And I don't think Orton's got really big storyline, but I think it's just because we're
No, because the
it's in St. Louis.
WrestleMania match that's going to write itself is Orton Riddle. I mean, that's what
Yeah,
this
that's
is all
true.
about.
That they got to break up, right?
Yeah, that's where it's all headed.
The other thing to pay attention to is when the season rewrites itself the Monday after it, and does Rock make an appearance?
Nope,
And
not yet.
After WrestleMania.
After WrestleMania, yes.
And does a
to
year in
set
advance
up.
like he did with the Cena before.
Yeah. Who's the true
Because
head
it's
of the table?
happened. Who's the true head of the table? Because that one's probably happening. Until then,
That's in L.A. SoFi.
That one's in L.A.
SoFi
yeah.
Stadium.
Yeah, and they were just there not too long ago.
No, it's SoFi. SoFi's brand new.
Oh no. Okay, they were at San Francisco's. Sorry.
Yeah.
They were at Levi. Yeah.
Levi's.
So,
Gotcha.
so talk to me about what section you're in there.
We were right
You
by the
looking at
ramp.
tickets right now?
I'm looking at them.
We're right by the entrance ramp area.
Okay.
So right above there.
All right.
Kind of right by there, off to the left.
On the floor?
No. We're
Okay.
up.
Okay.
We're up above.
I love so much when this goes to this type of conversation and people are like, "Oh, you're talking about wrestling, blah blah blah," because I don't care. The amount.
You know,
of,
I met Big E. I talked to Big E at the Iowa game.
You were on his special on the WWE,
Yeah.
weren't you? Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that too.
Okay, when you were at the Iowa Penn State game, you talked to Big E.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, have we not talked that long?
Yeah. I got.
His pop was amazing. The fact that there was like almost 70,000 that were quiet and then they would respond back to him was incredible. I was in the stands. You were up in the press.
Well, we talked about this
Yes,
because
okay, yeah, we did talk about
I asked you which one was the best.
That's right. We did talk about it. Yeah.
And it was Tom Brandt.
Yeah. What did he say when you talked to him?
We just chat shit for like 2 minutes.
Uh-huh.
That was it.
That's cool.
Just congratulated him on all the success, and he remembered me, so that was nice. I got that going for me.
Well, I don't know.
That's
If we're going to flex here, I mean, by the way, Colby Lopez was at school when I was a teacher there, and he knows my name too. So if we want to just do this, we can do it. And then finally, I was
One
in
of my friends told
I was in
me
a car
that-
ride with Ric Flair. So
You were in a car ride with Ric Flair.
One of your friends told you what?
That he was in like drama or something at West.
He probably could have been. Like,
Probably not a bad idea.
yeah, he was. I know what they had. It wasn't like a turnabout, but it was kind of the thing in the winter. I know he was the king. The fun story of it is his senior year. I was in the hallway. He was in the hallway, and I needed somebody on the wrestling team about his weight. And I knew of him. I knew he was a backyard wrestler type of thing, and I knew he's very athletic, like can do a standing backflip. Seriously. And so I was just like, hey, I need a kid about your weight to come up for wrestling. I know you wrestled, I guess, from what I understand, in junior high, and it would be great if you went out for the team. Colby Lopez, a.k.a. Seth Rollins, says, no, thank you. I'm just going to stick to my backyard wrestling type of thing. I'm paraphrasing. I kid you not, I walked away and said, good luck with that. I kid you not. I said it like, yeah.
You
good luck
even
with
being
it.
a fan of it, and you said that?
Yeah, even being a fan, I was like, yeah, I don't
Good
know.
luck, yeah.
And then years later, I run into him here and there, and I would always say like, hey, Colby. I always call him Colby because I got to bring him down a notch, and he's like, hey, what's up, Foster? Every time. So, and he's been nothing but nice. And right after the first time he won the tag team championships, he was at a local pool. I showed him. I'm like, this is my son. He watches it with me, blah, blah, blah. And then the other fun story about it is I ran into him at High V in 2017. And that night, my son was like, I don't want to go to the grocery store. I'm like, okay. And so I'm like, hey, Colby, can we take a picture? My son's going to be so upset that he didn't go. He didn't come here. And he's like, okay. And we take a quick photo. And I send it to my wife. And I'm like, hey, send this off to Ben. He missed out on this. And she texts me. She's like, Ben says, bring him to the house. And I'm like, he's not coming to the house. And she's like, he's going to be upset. So I pull up and Ben's all excited and he comes out and he's like, where is he? Where is he? And I'm like, what do you mean? I go, he's not coming. Seth Rollins isn't coming. He's like, who's Seth Rollins? I'm like, he's a WWE champion, Colby Lopez. Remember I taught him. And he thought it was Victor from Big Brother. And that's the type of bad influence I have on my kids, that they watch reality game shows, Big Brother, and he was all excited that I had this guy from Big Brother on there, and it wasn't Seth Rollins. So that's the influence that I have. But again, the good story is that the influence was also Rocky IV, and now he wants to fight Russians. So, and I feel like now the only real thing to do the right thing to do is to show him Red Dawn after this, right?
Yes.
The original, and be like, if you
the original Red Dawn.
Yeah, the original. Yeah, not anything. I'd be like, hey, if you're
Wolverines,
don't, Adrian. You've never seen it either?
No.
Oh my God.
Really?
Yeah, he's never seen the Rockies either. He's a little bit younger than us.
Yeah.
We're gonna let it slide.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Most people don't. I get paraded. For a while, I didn't even like to tell people I hadn't seen Rockies.
Red Dawn is one of those movies where if it's on and I come across it, I'm in. I just dive right in.
Nothing else matters.
Mm-hmm.
I just dive right in. It's like, Stripes or just some of the classics. Blues Brothers.
Oh, we were supposed to come up with our top 5, Adrian.
We didn't.
We didn't do that.
You just take the weekend.
Take
top
the weekend.
5 of what?
Top 5 movies
of all time.
Yeah, your favorites. Yours, personally.
Godfather 1 and 2, interchangeable.
2 is the best sequel of all time. There's no
It's
argument
probably
Talia
Godfather 2
Shire's
is
in that.
probably better than Godfather 1.
It is. That some would say that. I would agree. Yep. But still not in my.
Blues Brothers is in my top 5.
Blues Brothers is really good.
Animal House.
Yeah.
Boy, what else? Field of Dreams.
That's a good one too. I really got to think about my top 5. I know mine are goofy though.
Yeah, it's just so many movies out there.
Beautiful Girls, Almost
Beautiful
Famous.
Girls.
I love that movie. That movie's great. There's great lines in that movie.
Oh, there are.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And listen, for everyone out there that
because
loves,
you're a giant Michael Rappaport fan.
Yeah, and that movie is not too bad.
Matt Dillon.
Beautiful Girls Make the World Go Round. That movie, by the way.
A young Natalie Portman. Is that what gets you into that?
No, that's the reason. Listen to me. That is a reason why I do not have any attraction to Natalie Portman at all, because she's 14 in the movie and I find it odd. Same thing with Reese Witherspoon. She played a 14-year-old in Man in the Moon and I still find it odd that she's
like,
attracted.
Now you can't get past that.
And keep this in mind, when Man in the Moon came out, I was 17.
Yeah.
So it's not like it was like, oh, this is odd, weird thing, but it's goofy. And same thing with Beautiful Girls. I think I had to be about 18 or 19 when that came out, but it's still goofy. She's 14 in that. There's some. I just don't throw the Rockies in it because they're in a thing all by themselves. But we do need to find our top 5 though. I was thinking about that too. Also, I was like,
I get sucked in on the Godfathers too, and the AMC or somebody will have it on, and I'll just be like, all right.
Well, there was a time, I think it was before COVID, and
it was on Showtime.
They would do 1 and 2 back to back.
Yeah,
like a director's cut, and you're like, yep, 5 hours are gone. I'm good.
I'm just. All right, let's
and don't regret it one bit. Yeah, don't regret it.
No,
never regret.
No,
watching Genius.
So
I put Goodfellas might be in my list somewhere close.
I like Goodfellas. I actually watched it maybe about 2 months ago, and it holds up. I enjoy it. As far as we're talking about, you've got one friend who's not so successful in gambling. You got another one who's a millionaire.
Yes.
We talk quite a bit about the NFL and how crazy the last 2 weeks have been, and also last weekend. Anything this week that you like?
In the NFL.
Because Adrian, I want your input on this too. Here's some. And Adrian, by the way, Bulls tonight versus Golden State Warriors.
2 of the best teams in the NBA.
10-1 and 8-3.
Can't wait. I'm pumped.
Who's playing?
Bulls and the Golden State Warriors.
Oh, tonight?
Golden State Warriors are 4-1 at the over their last 5 games. The Bulls are 3-2 to the over in their last 5 games. It's going to be a fun game.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
I think 3 out of the top 5 scores right now in the NBA averaging per game are going to be played in this game tonight. So if you're a Bulls fan, do it now. Get on board.
Hop back on.
Yeah.
Here's a couple of fun bets for this weekend.
Okay.
I will be on the Saints against the Titans. Titans are due to lose.
Okay.
Lions, I'm going to be on them, taking the 8.
Yes. And actually, at Elite Sportsbook, it's 8.5 right now, if you're on that one. Yes, I agree.
Probably going to be on the Broncos against the Eagles.
100%.
Because the Eagles are a hot mess right now.
They're not good. No, that line that's a great call. That one is the one right there.
And here's the other one.
Mm-hmm.
I think is it up to 4 for the Rams game Monday night?
Yeah, I have a 3.5 on Elite Sportsbook. Yeah, 3.5 on Elite Sportsbook. They're on the road.
Yeah. I'll take 49ers.
You will?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Does it at all affect you if I tell you the 49ers have not won at home since the 2019 NFC Championship game?
I know.
It doesn't affect you?
Nope. They're due.
No one should bet on their due.
They're due. They won 2 weeks ago.
I do like. I think the Raiders. I think the Raiders are going to beat the Chiefs.
I do as well. I love the Colts covering against the Jags.
I desperately want to bet on Seattle this weekend, but I just don't trust Russell Wilson coming off that finger thing.
The Patriots minus 2.5 against the Browns. Listen to me.
Nick Chubb's out.
Kareem Hunt's still out.
They got the unknown guy. Johnson
Jr. or something like that?
Ernest Johnson.
Whatever his name.
He was Dearness Johnson. He was a sailboat fisherman 6 months ago.
Yeah. There's some big lines this weekend. The Colts should kill.
The Colts are going to cover that game.
Yeah, it's like 10, but
they're going to cover that game. Jacksonville is terrible.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care about that 9-6 victory. That was all.
How about your Vikings?
I can't listen to me. If you want to talk over and over about how much I can't wait for Mike Zimmer to be fired, it's like. But
he's going to be fired this year, right? But
he's not coming back next year. I don't think they're going to fire him this year.
You know what you take in that game? Take the over.
Yeah.
53. Take the over.
And you know what else you take? You take the Vikings first half.
Yeah.
Because they don't play a full game. Neither do the Steelers. So
I might be on the Panthers.
Take the Steelers in the first half, and then take to cover in the first half, and take the Lions to take that 8.5 for the thing. The Panthers against the Cardinals.
Yeah, I saw Gronk and Antonio Brown are out, so I know the football team's terrible, but
yeah,
football team has been bad.
I like the Jets plus the points, plus 12.
Yeah,
what's wrong with the Bills?
They're not. They're not as good as everyone.
Josh Allen regression.
Well, the thing is you right now, what we saw last week was Josh Allen 2018. We have not really seen Josh Allen 2020 yet.
Yeah.
And, I mean, obviously they got an extension. Sometimes that happens. But realistically, their resume is not as strong as you think. Losses to Pittsburgh, Tennessee, and Jacksonville. Their wins are against Miami twice, Washington football team, Houston, and Kansas City. That's their resume. It is not as strong as people think it is. So I don't care what it is in there. We were looking at yesterday. We're plus 425 for the Patriots to win the division. We like them to win the division.
Who's the favorite to win the NFL title right now? Tampa?
Favorite to win it is. Let's see here.
Is it still the Cardinals?
Nobody's going to bet on the Cardinals.
No one's going to bet. Okay, where are the Cardinals at here? No, it is Tampa. Plus 500.
Yeah, Tampa.
Bills are plus 600.
There's no way the Bills are. I thought maybe they'd win it, but
Cowboys are plus 1,000 plus. So
how's Dak's calf?
I don't know, but the Ravens are plus 1,000 too, and they don't deserve to be. They do not deserve to be there.
Who's the favorite in? So the Bills are the favorite in the AFC.
They are at plus 600 to win.
There's just no team in that league that I could trust. Seriously. There's New England, no. Chargers, no. Vegas, no. Baltimore, no. Tennessee, no.
I just don't understand this line. Why the Bills? The Chiefs are still plus 700 just to win the AFC. The Ravens are plus 450. The Titans plus 600.
Watch the Packers win the title this year.
Before we go,
dopey Aaron Rodgers.
Before we go, this guy
he'll have like his physician Joe Rogan come out with him, and
Rodgers gets COVID, wins the NFL MVP and Super Bowl all in 1 year.
Sure, never wears a mask.
Never wears a mask.
And then he introduces us all to his scientific medicine.
Yeah. And witch doctors.
So that way he can have kids someday. Yeah,
he's a weird dude. And I say
he's
that
getting
with
weirder.
He's arrogant.
With the utmost respect for him as a football
that's
player.
That's a nice way of saying it, that he's a weird dude and just be like,
he hasn't talked to his family in 10 years.
I know that.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's really weird.
You think eventually you just got to apologize and move on, or just...
Or you
to
just
not talk at all.
His brother was on The Bachelorette, and he's like, we don't talk about it. We don't
talk.
Yeah, we don't talk. We're not even bringing it up. Like, she was like, your brother's Aaron Rodgers. Like, yeah. We just don't talk.
That's about as far as we go.
Yeah, we don't want to mention it. We don't want to be brought up or anything.
It's just, he's had the weird relationships with Danica Patrick, and then now all of a sudden he gets engaged.
And she went off on Instagram. She went making fun of saying things about the media. I mean, she is that is erratic behavior. What she wrote on there, the things she did, it was crazy.
See that.
Yeah, it's like this whole.
Well,
thing
him blaming the media for this.
Oh, no. Of course he did. We called it. We called it before he was on the Pat McAfee show that he was going to go. He's going to say that. Well, you didn't do a follow-up question like you were supposed to. I said immunized, not vaccinated, and that's exactly what he got away with doing.
Yeah.
So
he's a goofball.
He is a goofball.
He's a really talented quarterback, but he's just.
Yeah, I think he shot himself in the foot to win MVP. That's for certain. So I think it's down. Well, Lamar kind of hurt himself last night, so I think it's Tom Brady's right now as the favorite.
I can't argue with that.
Yeah. All right, Tom. Thank you so much for coming in, Adrian. Another great week.
Yep.
Monday over the weekend. Think of your top 5, Adrian.
Yeah, we'll get that taken care of Monday.
Watch Rocky IV on Amazon. There, Kakert. Have fun at the game. I'll be there too. I'll just be freezing. That's all. You'll be inside.
You're not going to be inside with me?
No, they don't let me do it, especially on a Minnesota game. Too many beat writers coming down.
All right.
So, all right, we will see you guys later. Have a safe and sanitized weekend, Quad Cities. Good luck today. Good luck every day. Good luck all weekend. And good luck to Dazzo. Sounds like he needs it.
Yeah, he needs some winners.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
John Deere Road and 53rd Street, Moline, or HighlandToyota.com. Pickup and delivery available to your home or workplace.
Chris Canty and Mike Golick Jr.
I also need to know where my camera is because I do need a little bit of advice for a certain friend of ours here that we have seen. Because I enjoyed watching the New York Knicks. I enjoy what they have brought to the table on all this. Evan Fournier is a great addition for this team. We have seen him bring so much to all of them. I just have to